Am I the asshole for explaining my pizza to joy ratio to a friend who is trying to justify buying a vintage car? Pizza to joy ratio.
I'm gonna need more information.
Odd name, but I'll explain. A few years ago, I came up with a simple math formula I use whenever I'm going to make a dumb purchase. When you come home from work, making a filling meal from scratch will, on average, take about an hour. A takeout pizza costs around $20. So having that pizza instead of cooking and getting to relax instead means an hour of enjoyment costs you about $20. So before I buy anything, I sit down and think if I'm going to get a number of hours of joy equal to the price divided by 20 out of this item. This is only for non-necessity purchases, obviously, because applying it to hot dogs or something would create a number of serious questions I don't want answers to. Here's the argument I got pulled into and asked for my opinion. My friend has been arguing with his wife about buying a vintage car, and he kept talking about how happy it will make him. They can, in fact, afford it, and I did seriously say that if he thought he would get a number of that number of hours out of it, he should go for it. I actually think with how hard he works, he deserves it, and said that part out loud. He tried to call me out as being a hypocrite because about a year ago, I spent about $1,200 on a Ghostbusters costume, proton pack, boots, and all. I had to point out to him that I, in fact, throw that costume on frequently for a couple of hours at a time. It brings me great joy when I do, and that proton pack is hanging across from my bed so I can look at it before I fall asleep. It was something I've wanted for nearly 40 years, and I'm not going to stop getting joy from it, even if I'm over the $20 an hour limit. But his wife now uses the pizza to joy ratio for everything, and she says it has helped her cut down on spending money on things she might only use once, or just things she thinks are neat, like anime figurines or video games she's just going to let sit in her Steam library and probably never play. My friend has called me an asshole since now whenever he's looking at getting something, she'll ask, how many pizzas is that? I honestly think she's taking it too far, but she said it's life-changing for her. I kind of think I'm the asshole because it's just supposed to be something like offhand advice for silly things, like a banana costume, not applied to things like a washer/dryer upgrade.
Oh.
Okay, so he's getting blamed for the fact that this relationship has a very different view of finances, I feel like.
Yeah, it sounds like they took his idea and ran with it, or at least one of the people.
It was just
presented.
inspiring to her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's mad at his wife for wanting to spend less.
Yeah, and he called him a hypocrite for saying you deserve the car.
Yeah, because what's crazy is, at the very least, OP is not the asshole, because OP was like, oh yeah, spend it on whatever.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
allowed to do whatever you want.